Hello, everyone. Welcome back to 48 Now. I'm your digital host, Tatiana White, and I am joined today by Andre Love-Hosea. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, yeah.
Good.
I can't complain. It's a good day.
Yeah, good. I'm so glad you're here today. I'm very excited to hear more about your story. And so, Andre is a member of the Armed Forces, a motivational speaker, an author, and an entrepreneur who's turning pain into purpose. From surviving loss and deployment to writing a new book and opening a barbershop, his journey is one of resilience and rebirth. And he is here to share more about his journey. And so, Andre, can you just briefly share a little bit about yourself and your journey?
Yeah, so I'm Andre Love-Hosea. I'm originally from Mobile, Alabama. Moved to Huntsville August 1st, 2015, I believe. I attended Alabama A&M for my undergrad and then went back for my master's. Contracted and became a commissioned officer in the Army May 2019. Left for a short stint, came back to Huntsville, been in Huntsville for a while now, so from 2020, I believe, to now, and up in that time span, deployment, opening up business after business, closing business after business, and book after book, and just going through the changes of life.
Awesome. Yeah, it seems like you keep persevering through it, though. And so you've just returned from a 10-month deployment in the Middle East, and so how did that experience kind of shape you or change your outlook in life?
It shaped my entire military career, I would say, and me as a person. So before I left, I was just used to seeing the South side of the military, and when I say South, I mean Alabama, South Carolina, Georgia, like this side of it, and I never seen the operations side of the military. And then once you go overseas or anywhere around that area of operations, you see a different side of people in the military and those who's not in the military. It's a different shock to you because people talk about it a lot, but until you go over there and you see what it's like, to not have the nicest things or the fanciest things and the dollar amount changes. It's just so much that you're thankful for. So it definitely made my career elevate, and it changed my perspective on life a whole lot. It made me thankful and grateful for the smallest things.
Yeah, absolutely. I can imagine. And so you're also preparing to release your third book, Broken Men. And so what inspired that title? What's the message behind the book? Did your deployment kind of influence any of the things in the book?
It did. So crazy enough, I started writing a book before I left, 2022, 2023, right around the time that I lost my best friend. She committed suicide. So after that, I had already had 2 books out at the time. And I was just going, like I said, just going through life changes, I wasn't into therapy at that time. I was just, me being me, just business after business and staying focused on the main goal. But when I ended up deploying, I think I had maybe 50% of the book already written. I got overseas. My first few months was very hectic, working a lot, seeing different challenges. And it wasn't until like the middle of my deployment where, God kind of set me down and showed me exactly what I'm gaining from this deployment. And broken men come from, I believe, especially me, in some way, every man is broken. And maybe every individual, but especially for men, because we have a standard that we're supposed to at least uphold ourselves to according to society, to the household, and to mother, father. It's this standard that the world places on men and expects us to just step into it and take off with it. And without knowing and unknowingly, we're just broken. Like for me, I stepped into the role of me deploying and coming back home, and I'm like, man, there's so much trauma that I didn't even know that I, had in me until I was placed into a position to where the reason that I'm doing this is because it's in me. Like, this is all that I know. And with that, I don't really talk much. I just put all my focus and all my thoughts into writing. And while I was writing, it just came about, Broken Men.
Yes, and I know writing can be a very therapeutic way to
Yeah,
get through
it
things,
is. It is.
because you
It
get to
is.
put, all your thoughts all into paper.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
yes.
yeah, yeah. It is. It is. It is.
Yes, and so you talked a little bit about this, and I'm sorry for the loss of your friend. So you went through a lot of deep personal challenges, like losing your friend to suicide and financial loss and
Mhm.
mental and physical strain. And so,
Yeah.
how did you channel those experiences into your writing?
Um, Before she committed suicide, I think I only had a devotional out. I wrote a devotional in COVID, and once she committed suicide, like I say, it was so many um, thoughts and emotions just all over the place. Because at that point, I had lost, my grandparents, my close uncle. So I had been taking losses, like loss after loss after loss, and it just felt like my back was against the wall. And then, after that, I I personally think that you just get to a point where you just don't have anything else to do. Like it's just like God, like you can't take nothing else from me because I don't have anything else for you to give. And I think I was at a point like that where I didn't have nothing else to do. Like you get tired of crying, you get tired of just begging God to just give you peace. You just can't find peace anywhere. And after, reading, I'm an avid reader. After reading day after day after day, I'm like, okay, maybe I should just focus my emotions and my thoughts into this pen. And while I write, every time I write, my first thought is my best friend. First thought is, everyone that I lost. First thought is the pain. And I put everything that I have into writing with the hopes of helping just one person. Like I tell people, my writing isn't for the entire world. It's not for everyone. But I believe it's just for one person. And if it's just for that one person, as long as I can help that one person through the time that I went through, the world would be much better,
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's always a lot of our purposes is just to inspire or impact at least one person in life.
Yeah.
And like you talked about, even with the title being Broken Men,
Yeah.
even reaching a man that's like, okay, maybe there's not other men that understand.
Yeah.
And then and they're reading your book and they're like, you know what? Okay, there is somebody out there that gets it.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what it's about. That is truly what it's about.
Yes. And what do you hope readers, especially men, take away from your book?
That is okay not to be okay. And honestly, I was saying that at a point to where, I would tell someone that, but I didn't really believe it. And it's crazy as it seemed. And I would do what I'm doing now, talk to the camera, say it's okay not to be okay, shut the camera off, and I'm not okay. But I can truly say that I'm at a point now to where I understand like it's okay not to be okay, especially now because social media plays a major role because a lot of people see like clips like this and the great clips. They have no idea. Like you see this book right now and it looks good. Like me on the cover look very good, but it's so much pain inside of like this person that's on the cover.
Yeah.
Like it's not always joy in it, it's some pain. So I pray that every man read the book and take from it. We're broken, yes, but how can we heal? Like, and I talk about it, the first step is to recognize it. Like, I told myself that I was broken, but did I recognize it? And recognizing is action. Recognizing is, okay, therapy may be okay for me. Recognizing is, okay, let me call this person and forgive them for what they did to me. Recognizing just taking steps to fix. How can I be healed? I just pray every man takes from it and, recognize that heal you first.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
heal you first.
Yes,
for sure.
that's amazing. And I think that's a beautiful message to have.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
having somebody that just understands and
Yeah.
can be there and have that support. Because I feel like sometimes men don't feel like they have that outlet. And
Yeah,
so this
definitely.
is kind of like a safe space type
Yeah,
of book.
yeah,
So,
yeah. That's what it is. That's all it is, a safe space for every man to read. And I mentioned in the book, it's not just for men. It's for men and women. But I wrote this book with hopes of inspiring just one man. That's it, just one.
Yes, Absolutely. And you opened the largest selfie museum here in Huntsville, and then, which later closed.
Yeah.
And so, what did that journey in itself teach you?
Oh, God. Everyone sees what I'm doing now, and it's, business after business. It's this after that. And I move so quickly. But I never take the time to just rest, relax, and analyze. And I say analyze because that business taught me that I rush a lot of things. Like, I rush a lot. I rushed it. And it was great. Like I said, it was the largest selfie museum that I know of in Alabama. But we just rushed it. And maybe it came at the wrong time. But because, I put in my mind, I'm going to open this on this date. And when I say that, it's all. If I say I'm going to open something on this date, it's going to happen on that date. I don't care what comes in my way. But we rush the process. And I think most people just rush the process. And that's why, the process isn't teaching us anything, or we don't take anything from it. So, yeah, I just rushed that thing.
Yeah.
I rushed it. And it was nice. I don't know if you've seen it,
Yes.
but it was nice. But we took a lot from it. Me and my brother, Torrance, we took a lot from it, and we put a lot into it. And once my best friend, passed, we shut the doors on it.
Yes, but I'm glad that you learned from it and you
Yeah.
were able to persevere
Yeah.
and move forward,
Yeah.
because as you just talked about earlier, sometimes people don't realize like what you're going through internally. You can see somebody smiling from the outside and you don't know their story, and a lot of the time you see their success, but you don't know what they went through to get there.
Yeah.
And so,
God.
that's good that you're able to persevere. And so, despite those setbacks, you've recently opened a new barbershop.
Yeah.
And so can you tell us a little more about that venture? What inspired you to open it, get back into entrepreneurship after closing the selfie museum?
Yeah, so when I say I rushed the selfie museum, I rushed it. And this is how like fast that I rushed it. I opened the selfie museum, I don't know, let's say like July 2nd. I opened the barbershop maybe June 20th. So I opened the barbershop right before I did the selfie museum. And that was my first one. But when I was at A&M, me and my little brother, we used to cut hair like every day, and we cut in the dorms. So at the time, Alabama A&M didn't have the rule to where students could do any type of services, right? Because a lot of students cut hair, do hair, different trades. But because we was cutting hair, most days it was for free. And we have something what we call Vincent Day. That's where you come donate to us, and then we donate it to whoever. It can be whatever org that we choose. And we did that a lot. So we cut so much. Alabama A&M basically forced us to move out the dorms. It was like, hey, either you stop cutting hair and stay in this dorm, or you cut hair and you move off campus. So I ended up moving off campus, and that was in 2017. I came back from South Carolina. The Army sent me there, came back to Huntsville. As soon as I came back to Huntsville, I opened up my first barbershop shortly after with the same motto, same mission, to do the same thing, cut hair for Vincent Day and just give back. And that was almost like 6 years ago. And fast forward now, I came back from my deployment, and my first thought was, how can I do what I'm doing now, but on a bigger scale? Because I love cutting hair, I love giving back, but how can I mix those two? And I needed a bigger space too. So I came back from the deployment, talked to my brother Rel, and I was like, look, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna get a bigger space. And instead of it being about us, let's get more barbers in here. If we can get more barbers to catch the trade, and kind of shorten their time in hopes that, they can do the same thing that we're doing and give back to the community. That's just what we did, and we just opened it up last Saturday. A great turnout, 60, 70 people attended.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, and we did Vincent Day, so you donate to us and we choose the org, but it wasn't any challenges that I would say that I kind of thought of. Snapshot, taught me a lot when it comes to business, how to analyze your location, how to analyze your people that's coming in. It taught me great things. Overall,
Yes.
yeah.
That's awesome. And I feel like the parallels even of opening a barbershop,
Yeah.
I feel like that's always a safe space, therapeutic
It
thing
is.
for guys. And
Yeah.
so similar to the book, it's like this is your physical version, I guess, of
Yeah,
your book.
yeah,
So,
yeah. That's what it is. That's what it is, you know. It's
Yes.
mentorship, it's fellowship, it's conversations. That's what we call it
Yes.
at the shop.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And so, can you tell the name of your barbershop, where it's located? What are the vibes, experience that you want your clients to get?
Yeah. So it's Vincent's Hair Studios.
Okay.
In memory of my late uncle, Vincent Jose, who was selfless. That's the mission of the barbershop, to give back. And like I say, every so often we still do our donation day, where you come in and sometimes you sit down, you get a haircut, and I'm like, it's free, you know, because the mission for us is not about the amount, it's not about the funds, it's more so because we love doing what we do, you know. But it's located 9009 Memorial Parkway, right across from the Publix and Tom Brown and the shopping center over there. And the vibes are just great vibes all around. Like I say, mentorship, fellowship, conversation. That's what you're going to get from us. You know, it's a little bit of that old school vibe with the new school. So I mix like my uncle with like my age range, you know.
Yeah, a little remix.
Yeah. Like that's what it is. You know, it's that 101 feel. You know, you come in, it's you and the barber, and we try to keep it like that. You know, and that's the vibe you're gonna get. That old with the new school, with the same old great prices. That's what I tell them.
Yes, I love it.
It's good. It's good.
Yes.
Yeah, I love it.
Yes. And what's the connection for you between entrepreneurship, identity, and healing? Because I feel like those are some of your top themes in like your book and your barbershop. So how do you kind of connect those with your life?
Honestly, it's all God. It's all God. My thing is to do whatever that I do. I try to make sure that it aligns with who I am. And I ask God, you know, if you can just step me to where you want me to step, then I'll move. So if it's outside of those things that you just named, I really don't get into it, you know, because that's not my lane. My lane is entrepreneurship. My lane is writing books, reading books. My lane is military. Outside of those things, you know, it's a question of, is this me, and what am I doing it for? You know, if it involves teens or anything like that, then I do it. Like if I can, you know, get some at-risk teens and mentor teens, then I do it. But I try to make sure that everything aligns, and how I ensure that it aligns is I talk with God first, and until I get, you know, some confirmation from God, and I don't really step into it, if that kind of answers the question.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. And so I was going to talk about your mentorship a little bit. I saw you're a motivational speaker, and you did some mentorship with AG Studs.
Yes, AG Studs.
So why is like mentoring important to you, and like how does that tie into some of the themes in your book and in your overall life?
So I want to give a quick shout out to AG Studs. I actually talked to him yesterday, so shout out to Jew and Josh. But so I started mentoring at A&M. Actually, I was a freshman in college, joined an org called Man Up. From there, I mentored literally to this day. And what I found is that I love teens. And I say teens because that age range of that 13 to 18 or 13 to 17 time frame, God has placed me up in that certain age range because I know I have an impact there. And the studs just helped me like find that. Once I left A&M and left Man Up, God quickly, literally I left A&M in May. That next month I met the studs, I met AG Studs. And we was motivating from Instagram, Facebook at the time. And then I came back home and, you know, it's still like, how can I touch the at-risk teens? We created scholarships for at-risk teens. And then I'm like, okay, well, Jew and Josh is no longer with me in Huntsville. So God, how can I do it? He placed me with the Needs Dave Center. So now I have a mentorship for males there. So once you know, get under your probation officer, they connect you with me. And then you spend time in my program, and it's mentoring. It's me, my brother, Real Robbins. We literally go home, like go to the student's house, kid's house, visit with their mother or their father, take them out to the movies. We spend time. We're that big brother that they need, you know, spend time and just show them that we care. Like, outside of this program, outside of what your probation officer says, that, you know, you have to spend 6 months with me. This is a lifetime. Like, I'm here for you. As long as I'm on this earth breathing, we're going to kick it. We're going to enjoy life. And you're going to take something from me, and I'm going to take something from you.
Yes, that's awesome. And I think everybody needs a good mentor.
Oh, yeah,
It's
definitely.
life-changing.
Yes.
And so I feel like especially you doing entrepreneurship and things like that, I feel like it shows the at-risk teens there's more out there than just, you know, whatever they may be into or whatever they grew up around. They know that there's another way, there's another avenue. So that's great that y'all are showing them a preview of what their life could be.
Yes,
So,
definitely.
and so for anyone watching who might feel like they're going through a storm right now, similar to any things that you've gone through or their own personal storm, what's a message that you would send to them to just encourage them?
The first one is, I go by this quote, you may bend but never break. Every day won't be pretty, but every day that you wake up, that's a pretty day. Life won't be easy. Like, it's not gonna be easy. Like I say, social media has a way of making, you know, the prettiest things stand out. And the stories where, you know, that person that you're looking at thought about not waking up this morning because of what last night looked like, that's not showing. But just don't give up, you know. Just tell yourself one more day. Eventually, if you tell yourself one more day, so many days, eventually you're going to look up like, okay.
I'm good.
All right, I'm good now, you know. And just tell yourself one more day, you know, at any point that you think I can help you, or, you know, I could possibly motivate you or inspire you. I tell people, don't hesitate to reach out. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, all the social media platforms that I can possibly think of, majority. Reach out, and I don't mind, you know, talking and sharing what life has taught me through.
Yes, that's awesome. And I feel like always hearing from other people in their storms, it's always hopeful for the next person. So how can people connect with you, connect with your journey, and when can we expect the book release?
So how can you connect with me? On Instagram, it's That Way Dre. Facebook is Dre-Hosea, J-O-S-E at the end. DreHosea.com is another way. VincentHairStudios.com is another way. Or if you're in the Huntsville area, feel free to stop by Vincent Hair Studios anytime that you want, or you can send a message to me and we'll schedule a time to meet up at the shop. And, you know, like I said, if you want mentorship, fellowship, conversation, it don't have to be for service or anything. And when it comes to the book, this summer, latest the fall, because I think I'm at a point now where I know nothing is perfect, but I'm trying to reach to that level of, I need this to be close to perfect as we can get. So, the latest will be this fall, but I'm ready for it.
Yes, awesome.
I'm
ready. Very excited, and congratulations.
Thank you.
This is awesome, and a third book at a young age is really great.
I'm ready.
Yes. And is there anything else you would like to add? Anything we haven't touched on yet?
I just want to, you know, make sure that people understand, just don't give up. Like, whatever you do, don't give up. I want to give a special shout out to everyone that believed in me and everyone that continued to believe in me and push me. And without knowing that you're pushing me, you're pushing me. So thank you.
Yes, of course. Well, thank you so much.
Thank
it was
you.
so
Thank you.
awesome having you, and this was such a great, I feel motivated and encouraged. Thank you for sharing your story and for being vulnerable. And we can't wait for the release of Broken Men and to see the impact you continue to have in the community.
Thank you. I'm grateful. Thank you so much.
And thank you all for tuning into 48 Now, and make sure to follow more of Andre's journey through social media and to keep an eye out for the release of his new book that's coming out very soon. I hope you all have a great rest of your day.